Right, it's Mdylfb against DarkWisp, and I'm hoping to see something with a little bit more flavour to it than the last match that I casted, which it just made my eyes hurt. DarkWisp, our Protoss player in the top right of 16-bit, Mdylfb, our Terran player in the bottom left. Am I right in saying Mdylfb is the last Terran player in? Is that? No, that can't be right. We must have another Terran player. I'm just trying to... Is Royal Blue Terran? Huh. Somebody is surely Terran. Scallywag Terran? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, let's see what these guys are going to crack out. So I'm trying to remember. I think Mdylfb in the past has gone very marine heavy, and this early eBay would kind of suggest something similar. It's pretty unusual to get an eBay this soon. So I'm maybe really worried about, you know, who knows? These two guys may have played friendlies against each other. Maybe Mdylfb knows something about what sort of style DarkWisp is going to come up with. DarkWisp going for the X-Bow at the back. Prefer the one at the front, but don't hit it either. Against the Terran, actually, I don't hit it at all, because you know, double medevac drop in here can be really unpleasant. One medevac with 2 siege tanks in it, getting into a useful siege position with the medevac giving sight up here, and the Marines can just run up and down, stimming about, killing you. So yeah, actually having that vision down here, having some a kind of foothold on here is fine. Mdylfb going for the out front setup, which yeah, I like. If you are going to do this, you do need to make sure that this front area is reasonably secure. It's very wide, so I wouldn't mind seeing a bunker or something like that. The turret that he's building down here, I'd much prefer it positioned so that it is going to prevent stuff from sort of... my brain's turned to much. Warp prisms and such from warping stuff in. But you know, you've got such a big area on this map to try and do that with. You're actually better off just having a couple of Marines on patrol or whatever to give you that early heads up. So let's talk about the tech. We're saying Storm is being researched. I love it. I love it. Storm is arguably my favourite spell in the whole game. I mean, it's straightforward. It's just you spam it and it does area effect, but I just like it. Because really deep down, I'm a Protoss player. You know, I play around them, but really I'm a Protoss. So I do love, you know, it does cheer me up to see Marines getting hit with storms. It cheers me up. Anyway, the Observer is going to come in and have a look around, but there are turrets about the place, none actually at the front. So as DarkWisp comes in here, a top tip, because it doesn't set to this by default, but in the StarCraft gameplay settings, you know, if you go F10 options, gameplay settings, one of the things that you can checkbox is the ability to select your opponent's units. If that is switched off, you can't select your opponent's units, and there is a bonus to being able to select them. The bonus is you can click on one of them, and in the normal overlay it will tell you when you click on one of them whether it's got upgrades or not, and that can be a really useful thing. So when you scout, you can click and you can see whether or not your opponent is serious about this, because you know, if you see a whole bunch of Marines like that, and here we are at like 8 minutes, and you click and there's no upgrades on them, well then you know that this is a fake out, that they've over marined and aren't really going to stick with it. You know, so for example, let's say there was a siege tank there as well, and you find out that the siege tank's 1-1 but the Marines are 0-0, you would kind of be able to infer from that your opponent's actually going mech. So these Marines are going to come up, and there are a lot of them. But look how defensive this is, with 4 shield batteries, and these Marines have no medevac support, but look at the DPS from them just ripping through stuff. So we need to see the overcharge come down, but storms could be so big here. Oh, it could be huge. Let me see the storms. Where are the storms? Please. There's one. Oh, that is nasty. And the second one. Oh my. A High Templar with 15 kills. It's funny because High Templars rarely get the kill because Storm doesn't quite kill the Marines. So what you typically see is the Storms go down and it just brings their health so low. And then the Colossus finishes them off or whatever. So a Templar with 15 kills. Hang on. Oh. Let's see that again. Yeah. So I don't know what the holdup was because Storm is finished and these Templars have got energy. Look at there's loads of Storm energy here. What I'd have preferred to see, because you don't want your Templars in the fight. You don't want them coming to the front. You want to avoid that if you can. I'd like to see the Templars split up a little bit. So what you'd be looking to do is maybe leave a Templar here, try and lure these Marines in. But look, the Storms need to be happening straight away. Boom, boom, boom. And you could have kept all your Templars alive because this is unnecessary Templar death. Those Templars are so expensive, as they should be. I mean, look at what they do. But yeah, I'd like to have seen the Templars kept alive because there was no need to lose a single Stormer there. You could have just wrecked all of that and got out. So that was an expensive trade. Oh my, 75 units killed. That is painful. So let's look at the units lost tab. It's actually not as uneven as you might think because those Templars they're eye-wateringly expensive. They cost 150 gas each, whereas Marines cost no gas. So, and gas is more valuable. Bear in mind, gas is more valuable than minerals, and the resources thing just bunches them together. So, you know, one gas is one, and one minerals is one in this tab. So it's kind of the Protoss has lost more gas than the Terran. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. That is a thing that's happened. But you know, Mdylfb, you've kind of got yourself to blame because there's no medevacs in sight. I mean, having that many Marines and no medevacs is a bit painful. And stim is done, but I don't remember seeing a stim. You know, a stim forward and just right-clicking those Templars, boom, boom, boom. But like Templars don't really have any significant health. There's a Templar at 40. Oh, hang on, let me get a fresher Templar and a fresh Templar. 40. So, you know, when you've got like something, whatever that number was, 70 Marines, nothing. Those will evaporate instantly. This game is going to slip away from Mdylfb pretty quickly if he's not careful. Look how many bases our Protoss players on. Look at this. You know, as these bases finish up, Protoss with the bonus of Chrono, you can actually saturate bases quite quickly. You know, so DarkWisp, I'd like to see the worker count be brought up in preparation for these finishings so that you can transfer the workers, get the benefit straight away. The gateway count is a little low for that many bases, but there are 2 robos here. And of course, you know, oh, I love it. That's so sneaky because he skipped this base. Look at all these scans going down. I don't think there was one over there. So, you know, as far as Mdylfb is concerned, those bases don't exist. That is painful. So, you know, as far as he knows, DarkWisp's still on 2 bases, but he's on 5. So he really can wind out a powerful amount of units. But he does need to be doing that. You know, look at these robos are idle. Why? Look at the minerals. You know, why? Nothing should be idle at this stage of the game. You know, DarkWisp has put in the groundwork here to just dominate. So what I'd love to see is 4 gateways there, 4 gateways there, a couple of gateways there to bring the gateway count up to close to 20. Because, you know, if you're sticking with Stormers, you don't really need very many Colossus. You only need a couple to finish off the Marines. And the rest of your massive mineral bank, because you will have a huge imbalance there, can just be pumped into charge zealots. And I'd love to see these forges busy as well, cranking out those upgrades, unless of course he's already at, no he isn't at 3-3. So, you know, that's what needs to be happening right now, rather than having some sort of downtime. That is more Templars than, it's too many Templars. I mean, I love a Templar, but you never need as many as that. It just doesn't take that many storms to kill the Marines. So, you know, typically I have 4 or 5, and the rest of them you can turn into Archons. Oh, that got shut down pretty hard, didn't it? What a shame. I'd love to, I'm like, oh, imagine the value you'd get from a nuke if you landed it on that, it'd be brutal. So these Zealots are going to die quickly, but they're going to get a bit of a flavour for what's in the front door. And to be honest, it hasn't changed, which is disappointing, you know, because it needs to change. Marines are great and all, but at 14 minutes 30, not a medevac in sight, not a siege tank in sight, that's not going to win you against StarCraft. You've seen like what happened. The Ghosts love them. So Ghosts are the answer here against these High Templar, because EMPs strip the energy off the High Templar. So you can slap down one EMP. Oh, one EMP and all of those Templars just become paperweights. There's no energy left on them, and of course the EMPs also strip shield. Now they don't remove all the shield from an Archon, but they take a fair chunk of it off, and Archons only have 10 health. They are just a walking shield. So EMPs is what you need. EMPs and snipes. So the steady shot or whatever it's called, the snipe. But this is just going to get nasty. One storm. Come on, show me the storms. Mdylfb very sensibly running, but you know, charge slots are going to chase you down, and no medevacs, you can't even lift up. You know, Mdylfb, you cannot. I mean, it is possible to win on just Marines alone, but that needs to happen earlier in the game. Once you're in, like 17 minutes in, and you haven't built a medevac yet, nasty. GG.